Doesn't that look delicious? Just one shot of espresso for this afternoon. I am going to film a plant update for you guys. I'm going to walk around my collection and just kind of fill you in on everyone and how they're doing. I actually haven't been in my plant room since Sunday, and today's Wednesday. So hopefully everything is still okay in there. I know my moss poles are dry again, so I'll have to water those either later tonight, and I'll work on that a little bit tomorrow as well. But yeah, I like to do these every couple of months just to fill you in on any new plants that I've gotten, any recent repots that I've done. Maybe there's like a plant that you're curious about in my collection. So I figured today would be a perfect day to do that. It's a little bit gloomy. It just feels like the perfect day to kind of walk around my collection and film this update for you guys. So yeah, thank you so much for being here, and I really hope you enjoy. Here in my dining area is where a lot of my newer plants go to kind of isolate and quarantine. So most of the newer plants are still here, but some new plants I've gotten put away either in my Rudsta cabinet there, or some new plants moved into my plant room already. I do have some new plants kind of in a bin right here that I figured I would go ahead and show you first. Some were gifted, and then I bought a couple. They're just still kind of isolating in this little bin. They're just on this table right here beside me. The table also has a lot of props that I need to move. They still have the original leaves, and I just don't have room for them in the other room, so they're kind of like housing on this table still. But in here are a couple planty gifts that I got recently. I have a variegated Maranta. She's gorgeous. She's in like a little soil mix. So this will be like my second variegated Maranta. I also have, oh no, the Hoya that she gifted me. This is a Lacunosa. And I also have this Jose Buono in here as well, kind of still isolating. So these are from Emily. She's a follower / Patreon member, and we did a little trade. I unboxed it in a recent video. I can link it here, but it was very cute and thoughtful of her to gift me some plants. And I also have two of these little Pileas in here. They look like this. This one has the white little splotches on it. There it goes. You can see. It's not like super noticeable. And oh, this one here is the other one. You can kind of see on this leaf here, the splotchy. Right there, the variegation. My camera wants to focus. There we go. So the reason I got two of these little Pileas is because my Pilea is no longer with me, unfortunately. I ended up just making the decision to just get rid of what was left. I most recently had some mealy issues with it, and I kind of neglected it. It was in soil, and then I moved it to pond, and I don't know, ever since the mealies, it just went downhill, and I decided to, instead of trying to rehab what I could that was left, I would just invest in a new one. So these are some new ones I got. It's been a few weeks at least. Maybe it's been a month already. But I'm going to eventually get these potted up into a pot together and kind of regrow my Pilea back. I actually want to research the best mix to put them in. So if you have a Pilea and it's really happy in a certain mix, let me know, because I tried kind of my old soil mix out. I know my aeroid mix is going to be way too chunky for this plant. And I tried pond, and it didn't really seem happy in pond as well, but it could have been the mealies that was making it unhappy. I was thinking of maybe trying some tree fern and perlite since I have tree fern on hand, but I don't know. Let me know what your Pilea is happy in. And then I also got this cute little begonia. It has little spikes on it. It's so cool. I don't know what prompted me to get this guy. This was on the same website as the Pilea, so I saw it on there and I figured I would go ahead and get it. It's been a little neglected in this container because, one, it needs probably more light and humidity, and it hasn't grown anything since I've gotten it. It's still like in the original pot. But now that it's kind of acclimated and I know it doesn't have pests or anything, I should probably go ahead and move it to like a terrarium type thing. I mean, it seems happy. I mean, it hasn't gone downhill or anything since I've gotten it. It's just, yeah, it's just kind of new plants. Sometimes it takes a while for me to actually take care of them, so to say. I let them quarantine before and kind of let them acclimate before I do anything with them most of the time. And these are all the random props that are either from my moss pole, plants that I've chopped back. They're in water, and yeah, like I said, I need to take care of them, but they're just hanging out right here. Moving along the window, my makeaway on it is doing well. You know, it actually had some mealies on it. I had moved it out of my plant room, and I didn't know it had some mealies. So I've treated my Makoyana, I think it's been 3 or 4 times now, and that's why the leaves are so shiny on it, is because I've used like horticultural oil, you name it, I've used all kinds of stuff. And so far I feel like I haven't seen any more mealies pop up, although no, they seem to be on the new growth. Maybe that's just some residue. Oh no, don't tell me that's a mealy. I might have to spray it again. But for the most part, I feel like she's, for the most part, mealy free. For some reason, they really like new growth. They kind of remind me of thrips in a way, where they like to attack the new leaves. It's like the new leaves are juicy. Oh wait, no, there's a big mealy right there. Darn it. You see right there? I'm gonna have to spray it again. So yeah, I'll just keep spraying this plant. And it wasn't a lot of mealies. I just noticed like a random few popping up on it, and she still seems really happy. I love this Makoyana so much. She's been with me for so long. So I think some of them just flew onto it out, like when she was in my plant room and when I moved her out here. You know, the few that were on had remained and kind of spread a little bit. So I'll just spray her down again, because it's probably been a week and a half or so since I've sprayed her. And I haven't noticed them on any other plants out here, because I'm constantly checking for mealy bugs everywhere. These are some top cuttings of my Micans Aria. So I thought it had reverted because it gave me this huge leaf. And this new one that was unfurling has a little bit of variegation here. And then the new leaf hasn't like done anything else yet. And I have 2 mid cuts. I have this one here and this one here that's all green. So they're just in a little cup of water. I just kind of had them isolating here because I thought I saw some like what looked like little mealy bugs on it, because it was in my plant room window. So I just kind of have it isolating here. I've sprayed it down a few times and I haven't noticed like any other bugs popping up on it. So once these kind of root up and activate new growth, I might look at getting rid of them. If these ones come in with some variegation on the new leaves, I'll like sell it as an Aria. Like this one I can sell as an Aria, but I might wait until like this new leaf comes out. Again, these poor little plants have been in here forever. This is the Pleurophorum that was like rehabbing, that you know, had thrips, and I don't know, I just haven't taken care of this plant yet. So I don't know. I'll get to it eventually. I keep saying that every time I show you guys. I just have so much plant care to do that that's kind of on the bottom of the list. But I still have it. I mean, I do want to take care of this plant so I can get it potted up, and my plan was to do a giveaway and give it away to somebody because I don't want to sell it. Oh, here's another new plant that you guys have not seen yet. Dun 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 dun. I got this one off of Etsy. This was probably a few weeks ago now. I have it in stratum. So this is a philodendron red Anderson, and I got so lucky to find this plant, you guys. I found it randomly on Etsy, and it has really good variegation. This new leaf here is to die for. And it didn't have the best root system when I got it, so I have it kind of rehabbing in stratum, and it looks like it had lost a lot of leaves. Like the stem is really long on this thing, like the stem is buried in the stratum. So I'm gonna like chop it and propagate it, and then with this healthy root system, I'm gonna plant this into pon when it's time. But you guys know I was talking about like a philodendron red Anderson for so long, so yeah, it was just like a really lucky find, and the color is beautiful. So I'm super excited about this one. I can't wait to grow this one out. So it's just been hanging here in the window. So most of these are newer ones. We have mostly Hoya here. These are some cuttings that I got that are kind of rooting up, and a lot of them are actually starting to grow now. Like this one has some new growth. This Dischidia that I got gifted actually was just the 2-leaf cutting, and it's grown this entire thing. That one here is actually starting to grow. So I need to get these out of stratum probably soon. This Multiflora I potted up with you guys, and it's put out a couple new leaves. This is the variegated one, and it actually has a peduncle. I thought maybe from potting it up it might have blasted, but it actually looks like it's producing the little peduncle things. So that's really exciting right there. I've been like dying to have Multiflora blooms. I have another little cutting here in the window. This is a Hoya carnosa Wilbur Graves that I got as like a small plant, and it was already growing because I had purchased a Wilbur Graves and it still hasn't done anything yet. It's in my plant room, but this thing has put out, look how many leaves this thing is putting out already. It's grown this huge tendril. I think since I got it, it's grown like this entire thing, and I love the silver. I think this one was like a really lucky Etsy find as well. So it is in like their own kind of mix, and it's rooted nicely where I got this from. So I probably will get this potted into my aeroid mix though, and kind of add a trellis in there. And I might propagate this eventually. But yeah, it's just kind of growing crazy. And this one here is too. So this one I haven't potted up into my mix yet. It's still in the original mix. This is the Freckles. And so I bought this as a cutting, like these 2 leaves, and it's grown like this entire thing already. It's grown all these leaves, and it's growing off the trellis again, all the way down there. So I really need to get these out of the window. But yeah, it's grown a ton. It's crazy how much these Hoyas have taken off in a short amount of time. And this Discipulae had blooms a little while ago, and it already has like all these peduncles again. It is so pretty. I'll put a picture on the screen of the blooms because I took a picture when it was like open. But I got this as a cutting, and it freaking loves semi-hydro. I wasn't a fan of the Discipulae at first because I'm not a fan of like leafy Hoyas, but ever since I got this one and saw the pretty blooms, like I love this Hoya. It's probably one of my favorite Hoyas now, which is crazy. And then this is the bottom cut of my Rhaphidophora tetrasperma variegated. So I propped this one recently, and you guys, everything that I chopped freaking rotted. I had a beautiful top cut and everything, and I don't know if I just didn't let the ends callus, but I actually heard that Rhaphidophora can rot easily. I haven't really propagated Rhaphidophora tetrasperma before, like once a long time ago. But yeah, all the freaking cuttings, everything rotted. So I'm gonna have to wait for this new node now to activate, which it hasn't yet, and regrow, and maybe prop it in my future. But I was so sad because it grew so beautifully and everything freaking rotted. I was so upset. Now this beautiful Polynura outer variegated, I had propagated it probably a month or so ago, and this is the side that I chopped, and it's produced new set of leaves since chopping, and it's beautiful variegation. But this side here is actually growing all white, and I'm not sure what to do with that. Should I just chop this off? Because I feel like the white is just going to continue. It's very beautiful and it hasn't browned yet, but I don't know what to do. So it kind of started on this side where it was doing some like half moons, and then this leaf was all white, and this one here was a beautiful one. And then ever since then it grew like 2 more white ones, and then it spit out this one, which was interesting here. But then like the last 2 set of leaves are all white again. So I don't know what to do about that. I would love to propagate this one some more, but now that I only have one side growing, I don't want to propagate it just yet again, because I really love the Polynura outer variegated, and I really want I should have bought two, so I might buy another one to prop for the shop and just let this one be my plant to keep because I really want this plant as like a really huge plant in my collection. I might get a second one of this one. I've cut these Hoyas back so many times and this thing is growing like crazy. This is the Lacinosa Silver Mint, and I got this as a small plug, you guys, and it's crazy. This one here and also this one here is the Super Silver, the Croniana, and I've cut this one back so many times again, and it's already like growing like crazy again. It's crazy how fast these freaking Hoyas are growing. They're potted into my aeroid mix. That one. And this one here hasn't grown a whole lot. It's just now producing some more leaves. This is the New Guinea Ghost. I had chopped a runner off to propagate, and it's finally like put out some new leaves here. But I feel like it's taken a while, and then it has like a new growth here coming in. And you guys, my freaking orchid is going to bloom. So I'm not an orchid. Oh, I'm not an orchid person. And look at the freaking thing on the orchid. I don't really get orchids to rebloom, so seeing that is pretty cool. And ew, what is on the bottom of that pot? I bought a new pot recently at the big box store because I want to repot this. It has so much moss in it, and I think it's just staying too moist. And I wanted to aerate the root system a bit. Like I can't even see the root system in here. I don't know if it's healthy or what, but I mean, it seems really happy. It's put out a couple new leaves. Some of the old ones kind of yellowed off, which I think was probably from it staying too moist. And then it shot out this tendril. So I don't know if I should repot this while this bloom is on or if I should wait. So let me know if repotting this will mess this orchid up. I think I want to put it into my aeroid mix. And I got the container all ready for it. But yeah, that's so cool. That's my little $10 Phalaenopsis orchid that I got from Home Depot. And I think the blooms are like a pink color. So that is so cool that I've got an orchid to rebloom. I have a lot of plants to get through and I can already tell my mouth is getting dry. I should probably drink water and not coffee. But it's so cozy. It's such a gloomy day that I wanted something warm. I'm so excited for fall. These three moss pools here are doing really well. I have the Epi there in the middle. I have the Monstera siltepecana here. And then I have this Micans, which is regrowing a ton, you know, because I had cut the vines and it's shooting off a ton of new growth. I love the dark velvety leaves of Micans. I'm so glad the mealies are gone from it. I only treated it once and they're gone. My Epi Albo, I sold a little baby of this one recently and I had cut the top growth off and it hasn't reactivated yet. So it hasn't put out a new leaf since I chopped this guy. Because you can see I have a lot of the smaller cuts here and I have still some of the bigger leaves here on the table. And the ones that were like pushing growth and had already activated, I had potted up and stuff already. So I still have a lot of cuttings and stuff left from when I chopped my moss pole. That's one of my top questions I get asked is what I do with the bottom part of my poles when I chop them. And since I have a shop now, I'm always propagating the cuttings to grow a baby plant from. Because even if the original leaf like here doesn't make it, from that node, I'm gonna get a new growth. So I'll get a whole new plant from, you know, one little cutting. So, you know, whatever survives, I will pot up and grow new plants from it. This beautiful marble queen here, she is gorgeous. I love the tones of this one. And this is my OG one that I started my moss pole from. It's a little bit more toned down. It's more of like, I chopped the vines off of this one recently because it was getting really long and I just trimmed some plants up. So I cut some vines to make a couple starter plants. And you can actually see their growth coming back since I cut the vine. This one's activating in 2 spots here. This one hasn't activated yet. So yeah, I love my OG Marble Queen. And this one I fell in love with at the big box store because it was a lot more white. Not really white, it's like a creamy color. It's hard to describe. And I haven't repotted it. It's still in the Costa Farms pot. I can just show you guys. Oh, yep, it's still in the original pot. It's as happy as can be. So I have new growth on my little begonia propagations. This is the snow-capped, the variegated. So I have these cute little mushroom vessels. I like because the opening is small at the top, but I'm gonna pot these up probably soon because I have 4 stuck in here and they're actually getting to be where they won't come out of this little vessel. Like, look how stinking cute that little leaf is. Like, come on. Is that not cute? So I need to get these out of this little opening here. So yeah, I have 4 of these and I have the top cutting. Do you guys remember this Mikens Aria? This is the one that I got imported. Now, it's been over a year now, and this is the one little cutting that I was able to salvage. It has like a little bit of variegation there in that leaf. I don't know what happened to that leaf. When my camera is in active stabilization, it won't autofocus. So there we go. There is the Mikens Aria, the import one. So those 2 leaves are reverted, and the reason why I chopped it initially was because it reverted, and this leaf looks like it's wonky. But since being in pond, it's put out 2 leaves. I don't know down the road if it'll do anything, but hey, I'm surprised that this plant actually didn't die. So that's pretty cool. I love this Thanksgiving cactus. Look at it. Look how pretty. So I got this as an unrooted cutting from one of my neighbors. It fell off of hers, and I stuck it in this mix without any roots or anything. And it just like rooted right up, and it's putting out so much growth. It even bloomed through, I think, like May of this year. And I freaking love it. It's so cute. And I can't wait. It has pretty pink blooms. I can't wait for it to start blooming, you know, because it's a Thanksgiving cactus. So I think they start blooming right around, is it November? Is that when they start blooming again? It's so pretty. I love it so much. And yeah, it's just so happy in here. This is a new little plant I got. I don't remember where I got this at. It was on an Etsy purchase. I think I added it onto my order because I was ordering something else, and it has little purple flowers coming in. It's some kind of African violet, but I liked it because it was variegated. It's still in the original mix and everything. I haven't moved it out. But it's so cute, right? Because of the variegation. And I had no idea what the flowers were gonna look like, but I like that they're purple. It's so cute. It looks like he has this little face pot. It looks like he has a little head of hair or something. It's so cute. My Chameleon ZZ. I have some people randomly ask me about this one, and it's doing well. I don't have it under a ton of light, so some of the color has faded, but that's what the Chameleon ZZ looks like. Here's a new little stalk here, but it's done very well. It's kind of leaning to the grow light, but it's the only ZZ plant that I have left. My trailing heartleaf philodendron, you guys can't see, has grown so much since being in front of, in here, I have the 15-watt Sansi bulbs. There's 3 of them. And it has grown so much since moving the plant here. I originally had this one in my plant room, and I feel like it didn't do a whole lot in my plant room. But I freaking love lemon lime, the lemon lime Heterarium. She's so pretty. I've had this plant in my collection for so long, and I love how like orangey the new leaves come in. Like that, it's so pretty. I freaking love this plant. These here I did in my own time. So you guys know, this is my variegated Heterarium, the heartleaf. So I have this one, and then I have the silver stripe. So I've been selling the cuttings. You guys know I took these off of my moss pole. I had this one huge growing up a pole, as well as the silver stripe. but I decided to go ahead and just make them a trailing pot. So I took some cuttings for me. Some of these these are like all the original leaves that I had growing on a pole. Like some of the leaves are freaking huge, but a lot of the growth hasn't activated yet. And this is the silver stripe. A lot of these are original leaves, and some of the new growth, you can actually see there's a couple new leaves. I think I did about 6 or 7 cuttings each, and I potted them into like a 5-inch pot in my aeroid mix. And so I'm just gonna leave these as trailing plants in my collection. Although I did like them climbing, I just feel like the leaves, they did get big, but I just had too many poles, so I made the decision to take these off of poles. And I'm happy to like restart them as trailing plants. And I have so many props of these left. You know, once they actually activate growth, I'll have so many to sell. I love this one too. They're like, I feel like these are like OG classic plants in a way in my collection. You don't see them very much. I don't show them very much, but I still like really love them. Oh, this is another begonia that I got. You guys haven't seen this one either. I think this is called Red Planet. It's kind of interesting, right? The tones on it. Look at the underside. Isn't that cool? So I got this with another purchase I got this as like a random Etsy purchase because I was like getting really into begonia there for a minute. And I just thought this one was so cool. So I still have it in the original pot, the original mix that it came to me in. I already took some cuttings to kind of grow out, but it's so cute. I just thought the name Red Planet was so cool for a begonia, and I really loved all the tones. See, I don't think I've shown you guys this one yet. Here's the cuttings that I took. They're just in water. Now, I didn't have a rhizome with these ones, but when I propped my snowcat begonia, you guys told me I didn't need a rhizome. For cane begonias, like they'll still produce leaves. So once these actually produce their own little leaves, I'll look at like selling these ones. You can see that color. That is so pretty, right? Like look at that leaf. So Red Planet, I think it's Red Planet, but it's so pretty. Oh, it's so cool. This is kind of like a sad update in a way. So this is all that I have left of my hearts and my turtles. I'm going to restart them as little plants in my collection. So they were in my plant room back when I was treating my plant room. I did that whole clean out, and you know, I had some mealy spreading around. And so they came in through the window. So the plants that were in my window, it was mostly the Hoyas and the Pilea that were in there. And they were on some of my hanging plants and I didn't realize it. And they actually, both of these guys actually had mealies. And so they were in my bathtub for the longest time. When I had chopped all of my moss poles, I just kept putting off like taking care of these. So because they had mealies, I just didn't want to deal with it. So what I did was I just took a few healthy cuttings, treated the cuttings, and I'm just going to restart these back in my collection. Like it's totally fine. I just couldn't deal with the whole mealy situation. And these guys grow so fast for me that I like them better as small plants like this, because I have so many big plants that, I don't know, it's just in my head, like I can always cut plants back to sell and propagate and just start over as like a small plant in my collection, because I know I can regrow these out. It's no problem. And if something happens and I really want the plant, I'll just buy it again. But yeah, because of the mealy situation, I just decided to keep just some cuttings. I have a lot of my rehab Hoya here. So this is my Carnosa. Last summer when mealies attacked all the Hoya that were in this window, I've had to basically restart them. I had repotted them all, changed the soil, treated them so many times, and mealies came back on them. And this last go around, I just saved a couple cuttings. Like I have this cutting here, and I think I have 1 or 2 more, and they're all starting to like push new growth again. Like this here, I think is all new growth on the bottom. There's a lot of new growth up here. There's a cute new little leaf right here coming in. I really want this one to bloom. I just want that chocolatey flower smell. Like the blooms are so pretty on this one. So I feel like that's why I want this Hoya, because the blooms are so pretty. So I moved it to pon as well. and it seems to like it. So all the rehab Hoyas are in pond over here. So this one here lives on the edge, and then I have this Pubicalix. It's really splashy. It's hanging out here in pond, and it has new growth coming in. This is all that's left of the Australis Lisa. I don't think I'll repurchase that Hoya. This little cutting that I saved doesn't seem the happiest, but it always gets mealies. This one here, I'm just letting root up in pond, but I'm not going to keep that one. I think that's the Undulata Red that I got as an import last year. And this one here is my Crimson Princess. This one was huge in my collection at one point, and I could only manage to save one vine, and all this is kind of new growth coming in. So I may eventually purchase like a new Crimson Princess, but I still have like part of her at least, like this vine, and I know eventually I can grow her out again. Same with the Crimson Queen. This is all that was left, and then it's got some new growth coming in here and here. So all these are kind of like rehabbing in pond right there. So I'll eventually like grow them back, and ones that I don't want in my collection anymore, I might eventually like get rid of. I have a Curtisii that's been in my collection for a really long time. I moved that out of my plant room. This one here is the Hoya Carrii Splash. I accidentally broke the peduncle bloom off, but it's put out this new leaf, and it has another new leaf coming in there. A lot of my Hoyas, this is gonna probably end up being mostly Hoyas once I move the ones that are kind of over in the window out here, because yeah, they're not going back in my plant room just because my Hoyas tend to get mealies. I have some Maranta on the bottom. Those are lemon lime cuttings there that are in water. I have a kind of reverted Curciovana, and I have some more cuttings down there in water. I have this really long linearis that I've been propagating. What else is up here? I have another Hoya here. I've cut this one back quite a bit. I sold some cuttings already. I have my Brazil. This one seems a lot happier too. I recently cut a lot of the longer vines off. It was like all the way, I actually think it was like all the way down here. So I gave that one a good haircut. And I'm hoping by me actually cutting, it'll activate some growth up here, and it'll like fill out in its own time. But it's in a tiny pot. I honestly need to upsize this one because it dries out constantly. But here's like a new vine here. I love Brazil. It's like a classic. I have an Enjoy here that is just trailing. I have one on a moss pole, but I might take it off because again, it's like one of those things where I have too many moss poles. And my huge Begonia Immaculata, it's just in water right there. It loves water. It's put out so much new growth. I did propagate my begonia to sell some cuttings, but some of them didn't ship well. I think I sold 5 or 6 like cuttings, and out of those, 2 of them didn't ship well. Well, one I think it was because, well actually 2 of them I think it was just too hot for them. But I don't know if I'll sell any more. It doesn't seem to like being shipped, but it's a beautiful plant. And she's so beautiful. She's so big and beautiful. And then I have a neon pothos hanging there. I've trimmed that multiple times too, because it just got too long. Yeah, I think that's it for the plants out here. I'm always rearranging this section. I have so many like little plants on this shelf now. And then this is where I keep the stand, the grow light stand. So I think I got this stand on Amazon. Yes, I did. I will say the heads kind of drive me crazy. Some of them don't want to stay in the spot that they're in. And also, without going outside, I want you guys to, I want to see if you can see, can you guys see out there? So that's the alocasia, or the Xanthosoma, the Mickey Mouse. Do you see how big those leaves are getting? I planted it in the yard. And that one over there is the variegated banana, and it's getting freaking huge out there in the yard. I'm gonna cover them this winter. I'm actually surprised that one isn't going dormant because it's starting to get a little cooler outside, but I'm gonna protect them this winter and hopefully they survive the colder temps. But yeah, they're doing so well out there. And not really like too many updates outside. I still have the big Monstera. I put that Ripsalis that I got at the big box store there. I haven't taken care of that yet. And I have the ficus out there. I don't have many plants out here. I have some that are like outside. We planted a big Monstera out that tree out there. I don't know if you can see, it got a little sunburnt, but I'm gonna protect that this winter as well, and hopefully it kind of climbs up that tree. I'm gonna do a pothos out there as well. And can you guys see this huge alocasia out our window? We planted that one in the yard too. It's freaking massive. And it has all these little leaves coming in down there. We got this huge basket from Lowe's. Oh look, and there's a little lizard on there. But it's freaking huge. It's massive. I do want to protect that this winter as well, but I'm not sure exactly how to go about it because it's so big. But it's so cool. As far as the plants in here, the bedroom, there's not really any updates. I have mostly Maranta and I have a couple Tenanthes. I have my big girl there, the small one there. I have a lemon lime, a Cruciovana. I have my red Maranta. And then this is my Abuvada that I chopped back. I sold a couple cuttings and then I have so many that are propagating right now. And it's actually growing a new set of leaves since I cut it. At least in that spot, it's actually probably gonna grow some more in somewhere else. And then I would say the only sad one is this Orbifolia. So this one had mealies as well. And I don't know if it has some sort of fungal thing going on, but do you see all those splotches everywhere? It's just not happy. The new leaf that came out was just covered in mealies. And it was so random. And I had a couple mealies popping up on, I think it was this Maranta and that Maranta. So I took all these plants to the shower and treated them a few times now. I haven't seen any more mealies pop up that I've noticed. And it wasn't like a huge infestation. I just mean like random mealies. Because you guys know this was my mealy quarantine zone when I had all the Hoyas in here. So I think they just kind of jumped and spread to a couple of them. Spread around, flew to them. I know they don't jump, but you know what I mean. They kind of transferred to a couple of these plants. So I treated, like I said, I treated them a few times. I haven't noticed any more mealies popping up, but I'll probably continue to treat them when I water them. Just take them and spray them down because I feel like that's going to be my biggest fight against mealies is to continue to do treatments, because if I don't, then they're going to continue to spread. So that's what I've been doing, and so far so good. It's just, yeah, my Orbifolia is still in the original mix, so I am going to have a Maranta and Calathea care day soon because the ones in my bathroom all need to be repotted. And I think that a refresh would be good for a lot of these guys. And yeah, I'm just going to continue to treat this guy for mealies and spray like a fungal spray. So he's a little greasy looking just because he has got horticultural oil all over him because of the mealies. But yeah, I don't know. There's something going on with that one. So, and you guys know all these plants in here. This Maranta has been a little bit sad lately, and I think I underwatered it at one point because all these plants need to be repotted. I have more Maranta. This one here I ended up chopping back to the base and it's regrowing. And then I have another silver band, that Tenanthe I need to repot. I need to put that one into pond. I want to put that one into pond. That one hasn't been repotted, but like I said, it was a little bit sad, so I gave it like a good drink and I sprayed it off and everything. I didn't see like any mealies or anything like that. The mealies haven't come into here. So it might have just been like an underwatering thing, which was really sad. But I do want to take care of it and actually get it repotted and maybe give it like a little bit of a haircut. I did trim it a little bit already because it was getting too long. My golden pothos has grown so much and I still haven't repotted it. But what I want to do is probably take the golden down and get rid of the golden from in here. And what I was thinking was making this, like hanging some plants on the wall, like a staghorn fern and my Ripsalis, and kind of making this like, or I could hang those even here above here, but I don't know. I think I want to move this up at least get it repotted and like make the vines trail or something, or give it like a good haircut. I'm not really sure, but I do want to redo kind of this bathroom area, get all these like repotted, like I said, refreshed, and kind of make over this area. Moving on to these two cabinets really quick. I have to show you this new leaf on this pink black velvet, you guys. I'm gonna have to take it out of here very soon because it's getting way too big, but look at this leaf. Look how gorgeous. I have no words. Like, these leaves have gotten absolutely huge on this plant, and this new one is absolutely beautiful. Gorgeous. All of her smaller leaves have yellowed off. I have a couple corms that I took off in my plant room. They haven't sprouted yet, but I'm so excited. She's so beautiful. Probably one of the prettiest alocasia I have ever laid my eyes on. Stunning. The Rudsta's pretty crammed in here, so I'm gonna have to take some of these plants out here soon. This red crystallinum I transferred to Pond, and I don't know if it's really rooted that much in here yet, but it's working on another new leaf, and that's the newest one. I have this little baby alocasia in here. Ooh, I haven't seen this pink bambino leaf yet. Look how pink. Ooh, that's pretty. Oh, wow. This is the tiny tissue culture, not tissue culture, plug that I got. And it has good color. Wow. It's almost as big as the new one that I got. I don't even know why I got this one. I figured this one would be more variegated, but I feel like I wasted money buying two of them. Because yeah, this one lost some leaves, and then I feel like, I don't know, I kind of feel like the variegation is kind of similar on it. I don't know, I kind of like this one more. The caramel marble is doing well since potting it up. It's working on a new leaf. This one I'm so excited for. Such a gorgeous plant. And I potted up the variegated silver sword into Pond. I just did this in my own time. It was in moss. You know, I got this plant recently. So I'm very excited for that one to grow. I'm eventually going to prop this though. This begonia was rotting, so I propped it. I don't know if it's going to survive. It hasn't rooted yet. All like the original leaves have, or the original roots have rotted off. So I'm hoping it grows back in water. This is the Jenny, the Galaxy. Yeah, I was kind of sad about that. I have this reverted Yucatan Princess in here. And then I have the new ones. I have this, what's it called? The Philopia. Oh, the vine is growing, oops, up there. It's growing in a ton of new growth. You can see how pink it is. I'm just not going to be able to get that one out. That was probably a bad idea, but look how fluffy it is. I eventually want to prop this one. This is Anthurium Michelle. This is a new leaf here. Beautiful. This one's still in the original soil mix. And then I put this Syngonium Baltic, not Baltic, but Batik. I pronounce it wrong. Syngonium Batik variegated. I put this one into Pond in my own time. And it's doing well. I love the variegation on it. Looks like it's getting ready to push some new growth. Down here on this shelf, we have a couple Anthurium. These are little plugs that I had gotten, and they push some new leaves, and they're really pretty. This one is a Pap and Dark Forgetii, right there. And this one, I believe, is the same thing. Yes, Pap and Dark Forgetii. And this one here is supposed to be Pallidiflorum and Forgetii, right there. And I have another Anthurium back there. I have this one that we propped, the variegated snow-capped. Begonia, this one's working on some new leaf here. It doesn't look like it shot any growth out from the nodes below, so I might cut this back and propagate that because I don't like that empty stem, how that is. But this new leaf is so pretty. I also have the mint poly in here that is squished, and I have a couple of those rehab alocasia that haven't really done anything. That one looks like it's pushing a new growth. But yeah, they're all kind of squished in here. I'm gonna have to definitely take some of these out soon because they're getting way too squished. Oh. It's kind of like Tetris with this cabinet. But come on, look at this leaf. She's so pretty. I love her so much. And this one here just has some Hoya. I need to get a lot of these potted up. I think I have 4 that are still into stratum. These 4 here that I need to pot up. I really like the Heshgliana, the variegated one. It's just growing pretty slow. I would love to get it out of stratum soon though. I have another Mathilde. I have those 2, and then those are in soil. A couple of these though I'm not really loving, so I might look at just getting rid of those 2 Hoya. I got them as like free gifts, and they're not one that I don't think I want to keep in my collection, but we'll see. I haven't decided. Oh, I almost forgot to show you these. I have my Ring of Fire here, that this one is growing towards the actual grow light now. It's kind of leaning off the pole that way. I have the Marble Queen cutting that has now like kind of reverted back to juvenile form. This was the top part of my moss pole. And then I have a dubia here, which I've underwatered several times, and it's looking a little sad. I should probably give that one some water. I tend to forget about these plants though. I don't know why. When I'm watering, sometimes I forget that I have these here and I forget to water them. On my front porch, I still have all my snake plants and succulent and cactus planter and everything out there. I left my cactus outside all winter and they did fine, and I brought the snake plants in though, so I'm thinking I might leave them out here this winter. But again, I haven't decided yet. I have a couple months to really like, or at least a month and a half before I have to make my mind up for sure about what I'm going to do. It's just going to be a tight fit in here bringing these plants inside. Or maybe I'll just like bring them inside on a really cold night and maybe like squish them in here or something. But yeah, they've been chilling out there all summer. Nothing really new to show you with the plant nursery area. I need to go through and kind of reorganize these a bit. I still have some of my plants in here that I need to move to pond, like my pink princesses and stuff. And I need to make a ton more props. I've made so many, but I have so many more to make and still a lot to do and stuff in here. So yeah, I'm gonna be working in here later tonight and all day tomorrow. So yeah, I have a lot to do in here. And last but not least, let's go into my plant room. I have so much work to do in here as well. I have my poles to chop. My Glorious is freaking huge. So much work to do in here and everything. So yeah, I need to take a day and actually chop the rest of my moss poles. I just haven't felt like tackling them yet, but I do need to, and I need to repot my alocasias back there in that corner. Not the big Michelitziana, but my 2 variegated Friedex I need to upsize, and the other regular green one. Let me actually just take you in here. That is a beautiful sight though, right? Just gorgeous. They're just like overtaking this entire plant room. I don't even know if I can get back here anymore. But yeah, my regular green Friedeck here, it has like new vines that it shot out that are growing, and these leaves are just huge, you guys. Like literally freaking huge leaves. This plant will not stop growing. It's just massive. And you can see how thick that vine is getting back there. But I need to like restake it and get it situated a bit better. And yeah, I have a lot to do with this. My El Choco, look how beautiful this leaf is, Philodendron El Choco red. It has a new leaf here coming in back there. I had like repositioned it because it was getting too close to the grow light. I have new leaves on both of my ties. This one here is gorgeous. This one here in the front. That's my bigger tie. And then my smaller tie constellation has this beautiful leaf here. Absolutely stunning leaf. I still have them in their pots. Like that one is still in its tiny pot back there. And my plan was to pot them up together in this like big pot here, but I haven't done that yet. So I'll probably get to that at some point. I keep saying that at some point it'll get done. I don't know when, but it'll get done. But yeah, these plants just take up this entire corner. I love them. I love the look of all these, but they've definitely taken up a lot of space. Mostly here is my Syndapsis. I have the variegated jade satin there. I have the Syngonium Chiapins variegated, the bottom cut there. The top cut is in my cabinet that I'll show you. And I love the regular Syngonium frosted heart there. And then I have my original OG Linearis. I have my original pot and then the propagation. So I have my Glorious to chop, my Majestic to chop, my Sorderoy to chop. I have my Splendid to chop. Yeah, everything is at the top again. Golden Pothos is at the top. My beautiful Mandula here needs an extension. And you guys, I showed you guys that my Adansonii bloomed. The bloom is actually dying right now, but you can still see the bloom there. And it's working on a new leaf, I think. Yes, there, because it put out this tiny leaf because of that bloom. I don't know if I'll keep this plant growing inside or not. I'm tempted to let it grow outside next year, but then I'm worried that once I put it outside, it may not do well over the winter season. Cebu Blue and Golden Pothos are both there, kind of squished in. This Marble Queen is humongous. This one here was one that I was growing. It's huge, it's taking over. Thankfully, my Varicosum has not had any more mealies. So that's a new leaf here and it's working on a new one. So cross my fingers, I haven't seen any more mealies in this plant room. Just on a few random plants here and there out of my plant room. But yeah, they're not on the Varicosum anymore, which is good. And it's happy and growing again. My Majestic's been looking a little sad because I keep underwatering it. And I actually have some ants crawling on my Majestic. There wasn't a ton of ants, but I don't know why there's ants crawling on it or where they're coming from. But I noticed when I was watering my moss poles the other day, there was a trail of ants climbing up and down it. So I don't know if it's the extra floral nectaries or what's attracting some ants to come in. I don't know if they're coming in under like the floorboard, which I think so because I see an ant. Yes, you can see there's one right there crawling. Do you see him? There's not a ton of ants, there's just a couple, and I don't know if it's because of the extra floral nectaries. You guys know this sap that a lot of these phylos have, like this one here. You can see all, oh wait, yes, there's an ant. Oh, is that like dried up sugar crystal? What the heck? That's what they're eating. Look at the ants, you see them? Look at them. They're going for the nectaries. They bring ants in to get rid of pests on the plants because they're attracted to the sugary sap, but that's why they're coming in. Like, look at all that sugar that they're eating. So they're definitely coming in to eat the sap on the philodendrons. My Sorderoy has always been like very sappy. You can see just the EFNs. Oh, that's so cool. I'm kind of glad I caught that on camera, but they're definitely coming in to eat the sugary sap. So I think what I'm gonna do is when I go to chop these guys, just hose them off really good. The ants are probably all over, just climbing. They're probably coming in through the floorboard down there. But that's pretty much the gist of my poles. My Marble Queen is finally going to regrow there from where I chopped the top section off. My Justiana put out a new leaf. It's just a small one, of course, because it was post-chop. I have Esqueleto is still here. It's another one that I need to chop. It's just leaning here up against my pole just because I don't have room for it. I'm gonna start over with like a top section with this plant as well. You know, up on top I have both my Pallidiflorums. One of them actually, this one here actually put out a bloom, which I didn't realize. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. And this one's getting ready to push another new leaf. And this one accidentally fell. You guys saw me repot this one. This leaf, the newest one, broke off and I repotted it. When I opened my cabinet, it was like laying on the edge like that, and I opened the door and didn't realize it, and it fell forward and broke, which was kind of sad that that one did that. Oh, there's a bloom coming in on this poly. I didn't notice that. This is the pink poly. You see that bloom there in the middle? That's kind of cool. It's kind of low variegation. I've sold one of her babies, but I have a ton of babies of her growing right now. And then my hybrid is up there. I keep kind of rotating it around because it doesn't get a whole lot of light. I just have the one clip light on here. So I might like end up rotating those two around. And I turned my brightness down so we could look at our cabinet. Ugh. So you guys saw me take the berries off my Clarinerbium. So I'm letting her rest and I'm gonna get her repotted and everything. And the next couple of inflows that come out, I'm going to cut them off just so that this one can rest. This one here is getting huge. I think I probably need to upsize the platinum allocation in here. And then I stuck this Hoya in here just because I didn't have room for it on that shelf anymore. I just kind of slid it back in here, but I recently potted up this one. This is the Caracia Silver. My Glory Osum in Pond has put out a couple new leaves since the whole pond thing. I have this huge Ace of Spades, which I'm worried is kind of, I don't know if that's like some powdery mildew or what that is. I don't know, my plants are just so squished together that sometimes some of my velvety phyllos I feel like get something and then it spreads around. So I'm gonna have to like just spray or treat some of these plants. That dark leaf is beautiful though. And then this is the Yucatan Princess here, the variegated one. I accidentally added too much water in here and then it caused some edema, which caused the leaf to kind of wilt a little bit. You can see it on that leaf back there. So be very careful about watering this one. Down here are my pink black velvet corms that I took off. They're kind of in their own little container. They haven't sprouted yet though. This is my new beauty. This is the pink Capria that I got. This is the pink mint. That's the newer leaf there that was unfurling. I probably need to go ahead and water that one. I haven't watered it yet, but I'm eager to get that plant getting silica. I have the Hoya Mathilde variegated. It's growing a little bit more. I still have it in the original mix and everything. I'll eventually prop this one. And this is the Argentine Princess that hadn't grown yet, and then it finally put out a new growth point. And I couldn't tell if it was variegated, but I think, does it look variegated to you guys? This leaf here kind of looked like it wasn't, like it had reverted, but then this leaf makes me think that it might grow in with variegation because it wasn't a top cut, so I was worried that this variegation wouldn't continue, or at least that's what I was told, that they revert easily. So I have hopes that it will be variegated still. I'm gonna let it grow out a bit, and if it does revert, I'll probably buy this as like a plant that's already growing with variegation, if that makes sense. This is my Albo Regal Shield. I got potted into Pond. She's beautiful. Hi, Noon. Hello. I have my seeds in here. These are my clary and potato radiatum seeds. They haven't sprouted yet. Hi. And then this is the variegated chia pence here that I potted up, which is gorgeous. This is probably one of my favorite plants right now. And then I have a gigas in there that is growing back. I have my philodendron serpens, that is just a stump, and then the tortum that is growing. Where you going? Yeah. Hi. So yeah, it's a little crammed in here now that I have like more plants and things that I've got potted up. But yeah, I have a lot of plant care stuff to do that I need to get working on. Hi. Okay, I'm back. I forget where we left off. I had to charge my mic really quick. It went out on me and I hear it thundering, so it might rain. It's gotten a lot darker. So I'm going to show you over here by the window. So you guys saw that I did Monstera albo recently. So I extended it and I repotted the base. It's in pon. And I have another albo right next to it. But this is the one that I filmed and everything. And since the video, it's done really well. It's actually put out this new leaf here. Look how freaking gorgeous, right? So beautiful. And I was saying in the video, I was worried it was kind of showing more green, but that just made me fall in love with this plant. It's put out that gorgeous leaf. And I think it may have done one more there because there's 2 vines. And look at all those new roots inside of the pole. Can you make it out? Right there. I turned my brightness down some, so it might be a little bit darker now. Who else is over here? So you have Monstera aria. She put out a new leaf here, which is very beautiful. We got some more secondary fenestrations there. We have our other aria here, the one that we got from Rare Plant Fairy, and it's working on a new leaf. And Monstera mint in the window here. So it still hasn't done anything yet. It is still working on roots. It is still the exact same since I severed all those babies away, those tissue culture babies. So what I think I might do is I'm actually thinking about propagating these top 2 leaves, and I'm thinking about growing this in pon. I don't know, I just feel like it's working on its root system, like it's completely healthy and everything. Yeah, it's just focusing on its roots. So I don't know if I should mess with it or not, but yeah, it's getting good light. It's been, you know, getting nutrients. It just isn't growing. And then I have the ficus there in the window too. And then the Burl Marks Flame, I don't know if you can make out, it's kind of in front. This is the newest leaf here, the Monstera Burl Marks Flame. So it now has 4 leaves with fenestrations. And this one I did repot recently. I repotted it into my aeroid mix, and then I added a clear pole backing behind it. Okay, I took her down. So that's what she's looking like. Oh, I heard thunder. So the newest leaf is a bit bigger. It just, you know, only has the 1 split. So I'm hoping to get more mature leaves on this one soon, but it's so pretty. This is the albo that is more special to me. Look at this beautiful white leaf. And this is the newest one here. Very beautiful. I just have it on a stake right now, but you can see how variegated the stem is. It's highly variegated. So I'm gonna have to add, I think what I'm gonna do is get another set of core pole like this here. I'm gonna use this for support for it. And then I have a couple Entryway here. This is the hybrid that I got from Jonah. This is her Doriakii and Fergitii hybrid that she created, and it's in pon and freaking growing like crazy. Like, this leaf is huge. It's actually flowering now. I think this might be the 2nd or 3rd inflow. So I might actually collect the pollen off of that one. And then I have a Magnificum here. This is just a Magnificum, like so, and it's actually flowering as well. And then I have the variegated Micans, the Aria in the window. You guys saw at the very beginning of the video, the top section that I cut. So this here is actually regrowing right there. So hopefully it's variegated. On the bottom are 4 Marantas, and then I have my Stromanthe Trio Star that I really need to get repotted. It's like outgrown that pot that it's in. I have this beautiful Maranta, the light veins. It is growing like crazy. It is flowering like crazy. It's in pawn. My black velvet, not black velvet, black Maranta. I was thinking my alocasia, pink black velvet. It's growing a lot since being in pawn. It's done well. This one is in my aroid mix, my other silver band, and it's growing a ton. You can see all the new growth and everything coming in. And then my freaking variegated Maranta is growing like crazy in pawn. That's a new leaf there. It's so freaking beautiful. And I'm so happy to have like this huge variegated Maranta growing back. I love her so much. She is gorgeous. I need to get this plant of mine potted back up. You guys saw me chop that one. I have my regular Polynura, which I've chopped quite a bit to sell cuttings of, and I have lots of new growth coming in on that guy. I have a lot of Hoya in here. I have a couple more Polynura. I did chop my inner variegated and it's growing back. I have this one. The Nova Ghost is actually starting to grow, and that took forever to grow. And then some of these I potted up into my aroid mix, and then some are still in stratum that I need to pot up. I did cut that one already to propagate, and then I have Hoya Matilde and another couple Lacunosa in here. This alocasia I think has put out a couple new leaves. And then this one here I did propagate, but it's growing like this long vine out this way. So what I think I might do is cut this vine off here and let it regrow up, because it's kind of like a weird shape now, how that's grown. And then this, this is a variegated Monstera Peru. I cut this one back already. It's in pawn, and I don't know if it's grown any on this vine where I cut, but this vine here is growing all the way down. And then of course I have Halo Micans, which I've propagated several times and cut back for the shop. I have some yellowing on my Michelitziana that's in the smaller container back there because it is so freaking root bound. So I really need to repot that one back there. And then you guys know this shelf. I have so many freaking alocasia over here now. Like the entire top row is alocasia. My Regal Shield is taking over this shelf. It has another new leaf here. It has gotten huge. I can't wait for my variegated one to get this big. Like, she is massive. My Tanderosa still has the 4 leaves. Watsoniana here has put out a couple new leaves. I have the huge Heterophylla, freaking huge. Oh, I forgot I have Queen Anthurium squished back there too. I think she's either getting ready to push a new leaf back there or an inflow. Capria has grown a ton since moving it to pawn. I think it's put out 2 new leaves, and then it's working on 2 new ones back there. And then I have some others that are just kind of thrown in and squished wherever I can find room. These were cuttings I took from my moss pole, my neon pothos, and like a top cutting of my jade, not jade, but pearls and jade pothos. I was gonna restart these on a pole, but I think I'm just gonna do like a core pole. I'm not gonna do like a sphagnum moss pole because I can't do any more of those. I have too many. Regular Rhaphidophora tetrasperma is doing fine. This guy is gonna have to get moved. This is the freaking Philodendron SP Columbia Silver. Like, this leaf is huge. It's getting to be the size of El Choco. And I have a new leaf coming in, so it's definitely going to hit the grow light. So I need to move it. It's growing a ton. A lot more alocasia growing like crazy. This is my OG hybrid Meg crystallinum here. That's a new leaf. Variegated dragon scale has a new leaf. My ninja that I potted up here has a new leaf. It's like exploded since being in pond. I think it's done a couple leaves, and then that one down there is new. This is the one that reverted. It was supposed to be variegated. So I am curious the corms that I get off this plant whenever it produces them, if it's going to grow in variegated. That pink princess is in pond and it's grown so tall. It's just one vine. I am tempted to cut this one all the way back, although I might wait until it like grows to like up here. I'm going to move my other ones to pond. And I'm going to plant them together. So I don't need 3 plants in pond. So I might like use this one to propagate for the shop. So I might cut that one back at some point. Monstera obliqua has grown all the way past the pole again. So I might do like another top cutting and propagate the base up. I've underwatered it several times. You can see a little bit of yellowing there. But these new leaves are so cool. I love all the fenestrations. It's so cool. Florida Ghost has put out a couple new leaves. You guys know I had chopped this one and it's already regrowing like crazy. Same with Florida Beauty. The new growth had come in completely reverted. I think it's done 3 all green leaves in a row. So I'm gonna cut this one back again because I had already propagated it, you know, to save space. But now that it's like growing all green again, I'm gonna chop it back. I have Monstera Lechleriana down here. It really hasn't done too much since I potted it up. And this Anthurium here, my Podato radiatum, you guys know I propagated it and put it in pond. Well, this one has had some kind of like fungal thing happen. I treated it and then it's working on rooting. It's still like, it hasn't rooted that much yet. So I'm just kind of letting it hang out in pond. And it has put out, I think, an inflow since. And it looks like there might be something going on down there, but yeah, I'm not sure what happened with that leaf. So I did treat it and I'm just kind of letting it hang out. It didn't spread to this leaf though. So I think I like got it in time. So yeah, it's just chilling there in pond. The last little update I have is this terrarium bulb. And you guys, it would not be a proper update if this bulb didn't have mealies. Guys, come on, what is that? What is that in there? There's like mealies on that one. Did you hear that thunder? Oh, it's getting ready to storm. But I was gonna say it's been doing fine. The thing in the middle, I think is going dormant. There's a lot of browning. I have underwatered this thing several times. The pings are happy, the 3 pings. This one here has come back to life. That was dead almost once. I was actually thinking about redoing it and maybe getting some like seasonal decor. So I'm thinking about maybe getting some like fall Halloween stuff and like, I want to take that guy out because several of you told me it needs dormancy and it does look like it's going dormant. Yeah, I just need to redo this. And now that it has mealies, I'm gonna have to clean that up in there. The white fuzzies. So yes, that's a little update on this guy. But yeah, I hopefully will get rid of all my freaking mealies. There's a few plants, like I said, that they are still like randomly popping up on, but for the most part, knocking on wood, they're eradicated and I just have to eradicate the ants now. But yeah, I have a lot of plant care and stuff to do, a lot. I'm always gonna have a lot of plant care because I'm always making pots for the shop. There's new plants that I get that need like potted up or repotted. My own plants outgrow themselves, so they need cut back. And it's just, yeah, I'm always gonna have a ton of plant care and stuff. So yeah, I'll never run out of like repotting and stuff to do, but I'm gonna be doing more plant chores soon and a lot more plant care. So yeah, stay tuned for all of that. And maybe I'll make like a separate update video on this and we can like clean it up a bit and make it fall themed. So I'll probably, maybe I'll do that for like a video next month for October. But yes, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my little update for September. I'll probably do one again, probably in November sometime. Yes, I appreciate you guys so much for being here and I will talk to you guys again soon.